to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. It is Country Western Tuesday. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: which do you prefer to be? Which do you prefer to be? Passionate or dispassionate? Which one? Amazing. An amazing question. And once again, these questions are put there so you can think for yourself. Because too many folks are relying on others to think for them, especially relying on the so-called intellectuals. They are wicked. They are dumb. They have no clue as to what they're doing and what they're saying. And you listen to them. If you didn't hear the beginning of the show this morning, all 3 hours, you can podcast. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. Ring the bell and all that good stuff. You can follow us on Gap, Rumble, and Trovo. The Hake Report and the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. HAKE. And the Hake Report is on from 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. So check it out. Right after my show, thehakereport.com. And James Hake is on fire. He's on fire. Amazing. So I want to show you an example of how dumb the intellectuals are. With the degree, PhDs, MSDs, STDs, MDs, whatever degree they may have, psychiatrist, psychologist, counselor, all fake. It's not real, folks. They have no clue. This is from, and then they set themselves up as your leaders, and you allow it to happen. What a mess. Chicago Sun-Times is reporting the final tally for Independence Day. Happy 4th of July, by the way, and happy White History Month. July just feels white. We are celebrating white history this month, our 4th year.
It's White History Month.
Thank you, Trevor Wesley. So listen, the final tally for Independence Day weekend shooting in Chicago rose to 104. 104 shot. 19 fatalities in what is the most violent weekend of 2021. Violent weekend of 2021, and it's just July. 104 people shot. And while you're running around believing that it's racism, it's slavery, it's Jim Crow, it's systemic racism, police brutality, all lies, the folks are killing themselves. And there's nothing that radical, fat black lesbian mayor of Chicago will do or can do about it. She doesn't want to. She has no love. She could care less. She hates God. She hates the nuclear family. She hate America and the morals, values of this country. And y'all vote these people in. The people get the kind of government they deserve. Chicago has the type of government it deserves. And according to Fox, that female, Lori Lightfoot, blamed the influx of illegal guns from bordering states for the crime wave. No self-responsibility at all. Nobody loved black people, and black people love no one. Let's begin. It's a mess. Have no love. Black people, y'all are suffering due to the lack of love. You must return to the Father. There's nothing physical that anyone can do but lock you up and stop you from doing what you're doing. The heart must change from hate to love. And white folks, y'all need to love the blacks enough to tell them the truth and not be afraid of name calling. If they don't want to hear it, you don't have to force them to hear it. But love them enough to tell them, y'all need to return to the Father. I'm looking at this story this morning up in San Francisco. Neiman Market was robbed by blacks in the daylight. They were running in, grabbing stuff, running out. No shame. And that's systemic racism. These are the kind of folks that are heroes of the black community or black people. What a mess, huh? A mess. It's a spiritual battle, folks. It has nothing to do with black or white, nor slavery, nor Jim Crow, nor systemic racism, all that crap you've been told. You have to be in a fallen state to believe these lies. Really. Nick is a first-time caller out of Texas. Nick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how are you doing today, Jesse?
All is well, Nick. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month.
Right on. What made you laugh about that?
Oh, nothing. It's just crazy that I'm even like on the show right now.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for calling, man.
No, thank you. Thank you for picking up.
Go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just going to ask. What you think about Jehovah's Witnesses.
From what I know about the religion and learned about it over the past years, and I've counseled with several people who have gotten out of that religion, it seemed to be a religion that doesn't set you free, but set you up in order to control you. It seemed like a real controlling religion. It's not of love, but of hate. From what I know, I've never been a part of it, but the men and women, young and old, that I've counseled with, they have suffered, according to them, as a result of being a part of it.
Yeah, I'm dating this girl. I'm a Christian, and she's a Jehovah's Witness, and I don't know. I was just wondering if that would be a good idea. She says she wouldn't want to convert my children one day, but I just don't know if I believe it.
She would not want to convert your children to Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, that's what she says, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
How long you been dating her?
About maybe 3 years.
Oh, I see. And so now you're having doubt about what she will do to your children?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So, it's a really good question, Nick, and I don't know the answer for you on this one because I know there are people who have left that religion and their families turned on them. Their religion won't play with them anymore and all that. And some of those people have turned out to be decent people, but I don't know, your girlfriend's situation. That's why when you date her, don't have sex with her, Don't be weak. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Just treat her like you would treat anyone, and you'll get to see the real person. And you would know if this is the woman that you should marry and make children with. Are you living with her?
No, I'm not. We're long distance right now.
Oh, and so no kids, no sex, no nothing, right?
Not as of now, no.
Oh, but in the past?
In the past, yes, we've had sex.
Oh, but stay away from that so you can see the real person. That way, even if she pretend to be what she says she's not, you will be able to see it, and then you won't end up marrying her and making children with her. But if you don't know right now, just have a wait-and-see attitude.
All right. Thank you, Jesse.
But it definitely seemed to be a controlling so-called religion. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. Like,
Yeah.
I can't meet her parents and everything. I guess I'll just have to wait and see, you know?
Why can't you meet her parents?
Oh, they didn't want to meet me.
Have Nick
I'm
get the
not-
phone, James. They didn't want to meet you?
No, because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
So is your girlfriend still a part of the religion?
Yes.
Oh, well, if she's a part of that religion, I wouldn't have anything to do with it, with her. I wish her well and go my way. I thought she had been thrown out of it or quit it.
Oh, no. She doesn't plan on quitting it, but I don't know. It's just complicated. I'm going to have to just, I don't know.
I definitely would not marry her if she is a Jehovah's Witness and you are a Christian, because the two beliefs are totally different.
You think she'll try to, convert me one day?
I don't know, man, but I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't know. Does she control you now?
Oh gosh, I can't get into this on the show. Really, I didn't really think about this.
So you don't? Does she control you?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think we have a good bit of control over each other and everything. But
why are you letting her have any control over you?
I don't know. You know those pretty girls. You know.
Well, yeah, she will convert you. You're weak.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a question in my mind for a while now.
But if you're weak to her and you already know she has control over you, no doubt she would turn you and your children to a Jehovah's Witness. You can't stop it. You're already admitted to being weak to her.
I can't say you're wrong here.
Why are you weak with her? Why are you beta?
I don't know. This is, I don't know. I just wanted to get a second perspective, but I think...
Well, the answer is yes. She will turn you and your kids into a Jehovah's Witness, and it's going to be a mess because you're weak with her, man. I didn't know you were weak. I could have told you yes right away.
Gosh, you're right. Well, I have to go get study for my classes and everything, but thanks for picking up on me, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. Is she older than you?
Nah, she's like a year younger.
Oh, okay. I wish you well with that, Nick. But yeah, she will control you, continue to control you. She will turn you into a Jehovah's Witness and your children, and you will suffer for it.
Gosh, she is a very strong lady. All right. You have a good day, Jesse.
No such thing as strong lady, just weak men. She may have a strong will, but that's weakness. That's not strength.
Once again, I can't argue with that.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Have a good day.
You too, man. Amazing. Men, it's abnormal to be weak with women. You need to go and be returned to the Father. Forgive your mothers so you can overcome the woman. She would no longer be your God. God would be your God. And then you can guide the woman in the right way to go. Ethan is out of Kansas. Ethan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, it's so good to hear your voice. How are you?
All is well, Ethan. Thank you for calling.
Absolutely. All I can say is what a mess. I'm a university instructor, and I can't agree with you more about how a lot of these majors and studies and stuff, a lot of these students don't have any logic for themselves, and it's really unfortunate. And I just wanted to call you and tell you about that, Jesse. I'm an instructor in the engineering department, and I would say the engineering school is the most conservative of all the schools. We don't have any social justice or any like transgender posters in the bathrooms or tampons in the bathrooms. We're fairly straightforward with things, but around the university, it's getting real tough. I used to even recommend the medical field to a lot of students, or just people that are thinking about college. But social justice has just taken over these medical professions, pharmacy and my brother just graduated from medical school. And after going to medical school, he just became total beta liberal, and I just couldn't believe it. My brother and I have a great relationship with our dad, and our dad is a real fearless man, standing up for what's right, and just raising us to be men, and that's how me and my brother were, and we went to college together, and there was a little bit of some beta-ness, I guess you could say, in the engineering school, but my brother and I have now a different relationship, I would say, because there's just so many things that I try to reason with him on, but he just won't accept it, and it's all about social justice, and there's no justice for blacks in America and things like that, and it's shocking to me. It's just not the same brother that I had before he went to medical school.
It's amazing to me that anyone can believe that there's no so-called justice for the blacks in America. When you look around, blacks can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want.
Yeah.
And yet they can convince other human beings. Have Nick get the phone for me, Jay? They can convince other human beings that there's no justice. How crazy. You must be really in darkness. And that's what the education system is doing. It is brainwashing, demoralizing, and dumbing down the young people. Yeah. And the world, the parents, and everybody just sit back and allow it to happen. So you really get what you deserve, because ain't no way I would sacrifice my children to a dumb educational system where it's brainwashing them and dumbing them down. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's and there is some issues again with the engineering field that I'm seeing now. For instance, we just had a seminar maybe a month or two ago, and it was all about climate change and global warming. And my research is in that field. But the whole time, the seminar was talking about how we need the government to do things about. We can't do it on our own. It's just this whole political agenda, and I'm just sitting here like, this isn't science anymore. This is just politics.
Yeah.
And it's just they're brainwashing students, and it's real unfortunate. But what I wanted to get to in
Let me ask you this. None of the other teachers are speaking out against this in your school?
So right now, it seems like I'm the only one, Jesse. And I wanted to say that you really changed my life, because I just had this idea that a lot of people do have, is it worth talking about? Is it worth fighting for? I might lose my job. But, I realized that's a very fearful way of living.
Yeah.
And there's a donut shop right down the road, and even though I'm an instructor in chemical engineering, if I lose my job because I stand for something that's right, I'm happy to go serve donuts. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm
right.
Totally at peace with that.
And plus, if they take over, you're going to lose your job anyway.
Yeah. No,
and
really,
your freedom.
Yeah.
And your freedom.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're intimidating. I feel like the university was intimidating people to get vaccinated, and I prayed about it, and I felt on my heart to not give any reason or anything. So I just said, I'm sorry, I'm uncomfortable with it, and that's what I told them. And they said, well, and they they just kept asking me and stuff, and it caused some friction, but, I just came to grips. Like, if I lose my job because I don't get vaccinated, that's okay. And eventually they let it go, and amazingly, Jesse, I would have to say, I feel like I've earned more respect for standing up for what's right. You know?
People hate weakness. Women hate weakness. Men hate weakness, and when they see it in other men, weakness is hated. To stand up for what is right is appreciated. Now, you have the people on the side of evil. They're not going to like strength because they love evil, right? But we got to stand up, Ethan. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse.
Absolutely, and I love your message about strengthening men and strengthening the family. And again, like I was saying, how you really changed my life and pursuing this fearless life of standing up for what's right. Our university on the library page put a big poster of Black Lives Matter.
Wow.
And I'm just looking at it like, in Kansas, even though, the university is very liberal, Kansas is a very conservative state, and they're using tax dollars to fund the university, to have all these in-state tuition, whatever, all this stuff. And then they, on the very front of their libraries page, which is the most public part of the university, the library, and they put Black Lives Matter. And so because of you and because of your influence in my life, I made a petition to them. And so I'm in the process of that. I'm talking with the dean of students and see if they can take that down,
Nice.
Discrimination or whatever that they put on the syllabus, that's enough. But to put Black Lives Matter, that statement on the very front of the library's page, that's just unnecessary. What a mess.
But let me tell you the secret to it, Ethan, is going through this, don't get angry. Stay away from anger.
Yeah.
Stay away from all thoughts and take it one day at a time, one issue at a time, and it'll be amazed how you will overcome all this stuff, man. But don't overreact. Speak up, but don't resent. One day at a time. Have no expectation, but do what's in front of you. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely, Jesse. And I don't carry anger. But I have to stand up for what's right, and that's what I'm called to do. That's what God has called us to do. And
yes.
But I so appreciate you taking my call. I feel like I could talk to you this whole show, but I want to respect the other callers and stuff. But you really have changed my life, and standing up for what's right has really put a lot of peace in my life and has made me a better man for sure. You're
welcome. And the more you stand without the anger, you're going to get to a point where you appreciate standing and dealing with this fight because it's a spiritual battle, and you're going to appreciate standing up and fighting back. It gets better for you, all right?
Absolutely, Jesse. Well, anyways,
Call
thank you so much.
Call me again, buddy. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, now. Amazing. Stand, stand, stand. And when you've done all you can do to stand, stand some more. God doesn't say go sit down. He doesn't say start crying and run. Stand some more. Just leave out the anger, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. So this is from YouTube. YouTube says, you ask white people to stand up, but we get censored. Well, if you do, don't give up. Don't get angry. Don't judge. And just stand for what is right, and God will open up another door. When one door closes, a better one will open. But love what's right with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and a way will be made. Believe me, it will be. Another from, so I have this soundbite from these folks. Thank you, Nick. A clip of the theft in San Francisco. These blacks are stealing handbags at Neiman Market in Union Square. This is from Twitter. So it's a silent video, but if you're watch this, how these black people going into these stores. Here come the black. They've been shopping. They heard it before 4th of July. Let's go shopping. Isn't that amazing? The blacks. No shame, no rebuke from other blacks, but justifying it. These are immoral black people. out of control because they're now they're not contained by the law of the land, meaning that they don't have to go to jail anymore. They can steal up to $1,000 or $900, whatever. They can do and get away with it because of systemic racism. And they're going out of control with no shame. Black people are a roadmap of what not to be. Not all, but most. Absolutely, Jesse. Tony is out of Fresno, California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to be quick. I notice you talk a lot about black people in America in a negative way. And black people do have problems. And we are our biggest problem. But America, the big problem with America is not black people. The big problem with America and why America is going downhill really has to do with the leaders, white people. Not all white people, but I'm saying the leadership. When you look at the national debt, that black people didn't cause that. When you look at the environment, the pollution, black people didn't cause that. When you look at the food we eat, that is not as good as the food that you know how good it was back when you was coming up. Black people didn't cause that. When you talk about education, when you talk about college education and degrees, and the way they're teaching immorality in the colleges, black people don't cause that. And that's a major issue.
Who caused the teaching of immorality?
The teachers, the curriculum is designed by white folks.
And so, if that's
in
true,
most of your major institutions,
if that's true, why is it that? If that's true,
black people didn't cause to write the curriculum.
Hold on a minute,
Harvard.
Tony. Hold on. Let me respond. I was quiet while you were putting that mess out there. If it's true, why is it that, for the most part, only blacks are morally bankrupt to the core? They're robbing and stealing and killing and raping and begging and blaming. Why you don't see that coming from other races of people? It's predominant in the black folks. Why is that?
But it doesn't. But that is a result of. That's not the cause of.
But there are other people who are going to these schools and they're not acting the way the blacks are. Why is that?
Because you're only looking at the surface of it. Look at America deep down.
No, I want to know there are other races going to these same schools and hearing the same lies from the teachers.
Okay.
But why is it that? Hold on, Tony. Hold on. I'll let you respond. Just hold on. Why is it that it's the blacks who are acting out in a horrible way and not the other races?
But who is that hurting?
No, I'm asking you that. No, answer the question.
You say, why are blacks acting that way?
Yeah, they go to the same schools same schools that the whites and the Hispanics and the Asians and others are going through. So they're hearing the same thing. But why are the blacks leading the way in destruction?
What schools are you talking about?
Whichever one you're referring to.
After college?
Whichever one you're referring to.
I'm referring to college.
Well, they got all races going there. But are you saying that the white teachers are only affecting the black people?
No. What I'm saying
why are the other races are not acting like the blacks?
Well, what I'm saying is because black people are different. That's why.
You got that right.
But here's the point.
They're morally bankrupt.
America is falling.
Hold on, Tony.
Not because of black people.
Hold on, Tony. Hold on. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, hold on, Tony. Do not hang up from Fresno. When I come back, I'm opening the treasure chest on D-Live at 8:30.
Had her curlers in, she was ready to fight. I said, honey, I don't know what you're fussing about. If you ain't happy here, you can just move out. She's out of here. She's out of here. She really made it clear. A woman has no fear.
I want to say to the ladies around the world, God wants you to return to him as well. You have to forgive. Go forgive your mother so you can overcome her, get over her nature, and love your fathers, meaning don't hate your fathers. Because when you hate your earthly fathers, you're not going to be able to know God. You can't return to the Father, the spiritual father, and hate your physical father. Girls need fathers as much as boys need fathers. Girls can't be girls unless they have the direction of the Father, the love of the Father. Really, God will take away that crazy mindset that you have that's all over the place, emotional and stuff like that, and He will give you a logical mindset and draw you in. So go forgive your mothers and return to your fathers.
Just to pay the rent was hard for the man. He never let that mandolin touch upon.
8877-JESSE. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. So listen, I want to go back to Tony. Tony said that it's the white people's fault that the blacks are. Because the white leadership messing up everything, so the blacks are going out of control because of that.
I didn't say that.
It's Tony.
I
Tony,
did not say that.
Let me ask you this: if the white leaders and the white schools,
all, let me just say this.
Tony, I want to ask you a question. Otherwise, I'm gonna let you go. I want to communicate with you, but you must communicate. So I want to ask you this: if it's true that the so-called white leaders are doing this and it's their fault, other races are attending the same schools, the same classes, hearing the same stuff. Why is it that they're not going out of control like the blacks have done?
Because the curriculum is designed to degrade and to write out of history black contribution for you to make that comment.
And so the blacks are going out of control. They get the same information that the Mexicans are getting, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Asians, other white people are getting. And so it's only affecting the black. Is there a code in there or something that only the black can hear?
Well, let me just say this. You turned around my whole point here. My whole point was to talk about America in general. And what I'm saying about America in general, America is flatlining in the way of its economics, in the way of its health care, in the way of its financial institutions, in the way of commercialism, entertainment. All of that is degrading, is coming downhill, not because of black people.
And how long has that been going, flatlining? How long has the flatlining been going on?
I would say it's really picked up in the last 50, 60 years.
And so blacks been going out of control for the last 70 years or so. Why?
Listen. Because blacks are a target of that. They're part of the target to cripple them.
Where's your proof to that?
This society.
Where's your proof for that?
But here's the point.
Where's your proof for that? Give me the proof for the target.
Well, for instance, let me give you one example, because I can't talk about everything. You don't have enough time. Let's talk about homosexuality. Black people, by nature, if you go back to Africa, or if you go to Africa and you speak to people in Africa today, most countries in Africa reject homosexuality. But it's forced upon us here. That's just one thing. And black people.
What's wrong with the blacks?
Let me just say.
What's wrong with the blacks that they're accepting it? What's wrong with them?
Well, what's wrong with the whites?
No. What's wrong with the blacks that they're accepting it?
What's wrong with the blacks that they're accepting it is because we live in a culture that condones it and pushes it and puts you in a.
But what's making the black people so weak to it? What's wrong with them?
Because every day you have people that have no foundation of who they really are. They don't have knowledge of self. Therefore, if somebody can come in and tell them and define
what is it that black people don't know about themselves that will stop them from
you don't know about yourself.
What is it that black people... Tony, stay with me. Hey,
okay.
Stay with me.
I hear you. I'm hearing you.
Calm down here. What's wrong with the blacks?
Calm down. I'm not excited.
What's wrong with the blacks that they are so subject to that if they know that it's wrong? Why are they so subject to it?
Why do I have to ask the question when I just had a basic comment?
No, why?
really
Because
have a
your
question.
thinking is screwed up, and I want you to see that.
I want you to see that America is fallen, and it's not because of black people, and you can never save America by just talking and pointing fingers at black people, just like black people can't save themselves if they keep pointing their finger at white people.
What's wrong with the blacks
You
that they're
understand
so
what I'm saying?
subject to it?
Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
It's
well,
zero
keep
sense.
pointing the finger.
Are you a Christian, Tony?
Keep pointing the fingers.
Are you a Christian? Tony ran. He put his tail between his legs and ran. What a coward. I'm trying to finally get one of these blacks to calm down and let's conversate. And they say stuff that's stupid, and then you question what they say, then they run. What the? Super Chats and D-Line.
Super Chats.
All right, let's check it out here. We've got...
See how the blacks always blaming somebody else?
Yep,
What
every
losers?
time.
Yeah.
Let's see. From D-Live, Evgeny Crosby with the Diamonds. Those two guests from yesterday ain't going to make it.
We don't know that. We all come from a fallen state. And I know that Chris, his name was Chris, right?
Yep.
Chris what's right. He's been listening to me for a while. He definitely wants what's right. So he's trying. So never give up. Always wish people well. You just don't know. They may be in the darkness today and wake up just like that. All right? Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with another diamond. When's Trump going to stop being blamed for everything?
When hell freezes over, they're trying to do to the great white hope what they have done to the other white men. Number one, they've turned the black men away from their families and the families away from them. So they got the black women and children, right? And they got to do the same thing to white men, turn their families away from them so they can really take over the country and destroy it. And Donald Trump is not allowing that to happen, not to him. But they're not going to give up. It's evil, and evil want to destroy good. So they're trying to destroy Donald Trump. Or any male that stand up and be honest and operate from love. So they hate Donald Trump because he's a white, straight male of power. He's not afraid. Okay.
Jello from Streamlabs. This looks like a example of the silent prayer in the Bible, I suppose. Genesis 24:63. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Thank you.
Linyan Chin from Trovo. Can you hear it upon the wind in the sound of wailing and gnashing of teeth? 'Tis the torment of yet to be born non-white people as they suffer in a world degraded to a state found in many present-day S-hole nations. They suffer the loss of white baby engineers that once sustained infrastructure.
Amazing.
Deep stuff.
Yeah. I would think about that caller, Tony, who pretended that he was not pointing the finger at whites while pointing his finger at white people. Anyone who blames someone else for it and you are an adult, you're a loser. Just know that. You just, hey, I'm a loser. Here's who I blame. Say that. Start out right. Maybe you get better. Okay.
Mike Young from Streamlabs. Hey, Jesse, black people need to go to KFC to support Colonel Sanders, who is a white man. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month. Thank you.
Let's see here. We've got the top contributors from D-Live. We've got Liberator88, Evgeny Crosby, and I think the name there is Mitch something. And the welfare recipients, the luckiest followers on D-Live. We opened the treasure chest. You heard it. Sound effect was made. The welfare recipients are Sean Breed, Savage Pitbull, Beta Troll Destroyer, Kid Combo, and Misty Loca. And from Trovo, Brandon M. and Noah's Ark, Kansas, Thank you all very much. That's all
Thank
for
you.
now.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. Thank you all for your support. It's because of you we're able to get down to what we're doing here. So I'm grateful. We got a lot of more work to do, and what I really appreciate about it is the men and women who are being helped by Bond about what we're doing, the church and the entrepreneur program, the radio show. You're giving back to help others. You're not being selfish. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, our conference is coming up August 14th in Orlando, Florida, for men only. Go to rebuildingtheman.com. August is coming fast, folks. rebuildingtheman.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Nick, I don't know what Ricardo want at all. You didn't tell me anything. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nick. Let me tell you this real fast. Oh, and by the way, the Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. The Hake, Hake, report.com. And I often get a chance to hear Hake show. Hake is on fire. He is another white man like Bill Lockwood, who's not afraid. Bill Lockwood. Two white men who are not afraid. They are Christians, real Christians, of the Father. Last week we had a young man, and so the Hake Report is from 9 to 11, Hake, 9 to 11 Pacific time. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. So last week I had a young man on by the name of Jeffrey Younger. And Jeffrey Younger, according to Jeffrey, he was married to this woman at one time. They had 2 sons. And then they divorced. And now, according to Jeffrey, the divorced wife wanted to turn his son, James Younger, into a girl, which would never happen, by the way, women playing God. They may cut off his body part, but he would still be a boy. That's not going to change. And so Jeffrey was on. It was an amazing story. And you could see the honesty and sincerity coming from Jeffrey Younger. I really wish him well with his son. But he's not giving up. And he even appeared on this show and had been told not to speak publicly about it at all. Well, Jeffrey like, that's a bad law. I'm not letting that happen. So he's talking about it. I heard him speak first about it down in Orlando last weekend before last now. And it was 2 weeks. Oh, I thought Nick said 2 weeks. And it was an amazing story about what he was going through. Well, Jeffrey went back to court last weekend. This is from Life Site News. This past weekend, a hearing was held in the ongoing battle to save James Younger, son of Jeffrey Younger, who is trying to protect his son from being transitioned into a girl by his mother. Jeffrey was facing jail time for disregarding a court gag order, as well as battering against mother petition to gain full rights to medically transition James. For now, the mother petition has not been granted, and the notion of jail time was also eliminated. I really wish you well, Jeffrey, you and your son. And ladies, any mother, grandmother, doctor, or anyone who recommend a boy body parts be cut off and put on a fake woman's part, pretend it's a girl, or a girl body part being cut off and put on fake men part and pretend it's a male, are evil. You guys are evil. That's pure evil. Any woman who has an abortion for the sake of her ego. The only reason I think it may be okay for a woman to have an abortion if her life is at risk and she's already living. Other than that, anyone who has an abortion is evil. You're evil. You're not God. You need to stop playing God. And that's what this whole secular movement is about. It's like a religion. And you have to demoralize the people in order for them to believe in it. What a mess. Jackie is from Phoenix, Arizona. Jackie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi. I wanted to call you and to thank you because my brother, he began to kind of like find his way back to God like about 3 years ago, and he came across your videos. And he started introducing them to me, and I was blowing them off. I'm like, this guy's nuts. And then little by little, over the course of the past 3 years, I've been opening myself more up to having a relationship with God and really looking within myself, you know, reading a little bit of scripture. And I started to notice a huge change within myself, within my attitude.
Yeah.
I've become less emotional. I've, you know, every so often I'll have like a bout of like getting annoyed. But yeah, there were a couple of instances that I've kind of noticed where, you know, that my eyes are opening up, like, and my heart is opening up way more, where my son, I ended up seeing his grandparents when I moved to Phoenix. Me and his father, we aren't together, haven't been together in a long time. And yeah, when I went to see them, I kind of started telling his business. Now, he's grown. He's 19 years old. He's in college. He kind of like messed up because of the whole pandemic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I ended up telling them that, you know, he's not in college. He's decided that he's going to go stay with his dad. We're originally from New York, so he said he's going to stay with his dad instead of moving with me to Arizona. And I thought that was great because I was like, you need to learn how to, like, be a man a little bit. I can't teach you that. And yeah, I noticed that when I did that, at first I didn't think anything, like, wrong with it. But when he found out and I spoke to him, he was really upset with me. And he said that was my business, and I don't know why you thought it was okay for you to tell, you know, anyone that. That should have been up to me if I wanted to discuss that with them. And sure enough, within the conversation, I backed down. I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right, and I apologize.
Right on.
You know?
Yep.
And
amazing.
I didn't realize that that I was doing something wrong at the time, and it wasn't until, you know, I spoke to him, and I was like, oh, gosh, no, that was dead wrong of me.
Nice.
So, yeah, so little by little, I've been seeing things, and, you know, I wanted to thank you for that because I've been watching you now, and I started watching church more, and, you know, I noticed that my brother, who, you know, was kind of the one who started this whole thing,
right.
I started to notice that he really isn't, he's still smoking pot, and he loves to, yeah, and he loves to use scripture to bring people down. He just loves to, like, quote certain things. And sometimes when he quotes certain things, I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why are you even using this to try to rebuke me, quote unquote, rebuke me, when you don't even understand what this scripture is about?
Amazing.
So it's just funny, as I grow, I start to notice more and more, you know, that my eyes are open and stuff. And
are you doing the silent prayer?
I started it, and it's been on and off. Like, I'm trying to focus more on doing that more lately.
And why don't you stay with it? Why don't you stay with it morning and night?
What happened?
Why don't you stay with it?
I don't know. I think in the morning it's more of I get up and it's like, okay, I get up and I give myself enough time because I set my clock like 15 minutes before I actually have to get up.
Right.
So I could do the silent prayer, but I always end up snoozing it.
Well,
So
if you seek the kingdom of God in his right way, put that first in your life, your whole life will change. It'll be amazing. But you can't put any other God before him. You have to love him. So I recommend, Jackie, that you do it every morning. Don't let anything get in your way. And the rest of your day will start to go easier and things will be simpler and you will find yourself overcoming. It will be amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to work on that. I just find myself, it tends to be more of like, as soon as I get into it, I find myself not able to relax into it, and I find myself, the thoughts, of course, start coming. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I'm completely blank, but there's always a distraction, and I try to just work through it, but something ends up happening. My alarm, because I have several alarms or whatever in the morning to get myself up and to get ready for work, so that will happen, and I just feel like, you know, I feel like if I wasn't in the presence, you know what I mean, of God, like I wasn't there because there were just too many distractions.
Well, the fact that you can see those thoughts, it is God who is allowing you to see them. So sometimes you will have a whole bunch of them, sometimes a few, sometimes none. But you just become the observer. Of ourselves, we could do nothing, and of ourselves, we know nothing. So you become the observer, and it's been worked out for you. He bring you out of your imagination, all right?
Okay. So when you have the silent prayer and you have those thoughts going through and you can observe them, so that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a waste of time. You still
Not at
are
all.
in the presence of God?
That's right. And the fact that you can see them, it means that you're out of the thoughts, you are present with God.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
All right?
That makes sense. And I had to put my mama in her place the other day. My
Good.
cousin got engaged, and she's been living with this guy or whatever for like years. And she went and told my daughter, who's 16, your cousin, she did it the right way. She did it the right way. And I'm like, what? I'm like, don't tell my daughter that. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want my daughter thinking that it's okay for her to just be living with a dude for 10 years and then get engaged, and that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, tell your mother to stay away from your kids or you're going to block her.
She got mad. I was like, Mom, don't do that again.
Yeah.
She was like, but I know that you feel differently, but, I don't want her to think that she should just get married right away and have children. I'm like, but that's kind of like her plan. My daughter wants to have a family earlier than what
Let me tell
nowadays
you,
do.
Jackie, call me again. I got to run, but call me again. Tell your mother to stay away from your children. Your mother's wicked.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. Amazing. Nice call. Jason is out of Orlando, Florida, first-time caller. Let's see here. Jason, real fast, you're on the air.
How's it going, Jesse?
All is well, Jason. How are you?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you so much. I just wanted to mention that first and foremost, man, you're a blessing to the world, a blessing to the community, especially young black men. I'm a truck driver. I'm an artist. I'm a business owner. I'm a mentor for the community. But enough about me. I did notice something that Tony said earlier in regards to the corruption, or the evils of the white man. And I have an agreement with him, but I also want to express the disagreement, where blacks are in destruction. Okay, so he says that the white man is responsible for the evils, which there is some truth to that. I would call it corruption, and blacks are responsible currently for destruction. So you have two different forms of evil, and Satan's just using everybody. So if we are not returning to the Father, which is the pure heart of your message, we're going to miss it. We're going to be wrapped up in corruption with all evil. So evil has one face, which is Satan himself, but he just uses different tools, and destruction and corruption are part of it. Maybe the whites are responsible for a lot of corruption in America.
Well, definitely liberal whites. But but the blacks have to grow up and take responsibility for themselves. They're the one leading. However it's happened, they're leading the way to destruction. They got to take responsibility for themselves as adults.
I 100% agree with you.
And
You
not
got to
blame
take
people.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, corruption is not the issue. We can't get caught up in corruption of anybody, whether it's black,
Yes.
white, Puerto Rican Nation, anyone.
That's
so
right.
I love you, Jesse. Keep preaching the word, man, and I receive it 100%.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate your call, buddy. I appreciate it. I am so out of time, folks. The Hake Report is coming up now. TheHakeReport.com. Don't forget, guys, to get your ticket for the conference. Time is running out. Rooms are limited now. Go to rebuildingdemand.com for Saturday, August 14th in Orlando, Florida. Rebuildingdemand.com. And to the rest of the callers, I am so out of time. It's been an amazing show this morning. I do appreciate it. Stay with the silent prayer. Doubt every thought. Speak up, but don't resent. Life is yours. Absolutely yours. Thank you all. Amazing show today. I appreciate it.
Find a way to man up and stand up for what's right if we give our plans up. I know we can have faith in the unseen while we stand up and get back to the way we were designed to be.
So you can something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show 'em who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you, igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the loop. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. You must know that so you can. Something went wrong, but and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you can. Something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.